Welcome, guys, to the desk talk here at the drawingdesk.com. This is Wilhelm speaking, and today we're going to be talking quickly about some hidden gems uh, that I found out on the basic on some webtoon apps that I've like I said I've looked into. Let me see here. There is one of them, of course, being God of War, right there. And so, God of War, of course, this is of course a Chinese web comic on the Webcomics app. And what intrigues me about this one here is I like it's under the gender, of course, of the drama, action, and revenge. And of course, the key themes I like about this, of course, is the revenge. I love a good revenge story. Uh, Kill Bill, all those types of I love those types of revenge stories because there's only one way this is going to be ending. It's either going to be them or the target that they're after, and it's only going to end up one way or the other. There's no when done correctly, when they understand the how revenge, how basically how what would go with revenge, and how they don't a lot of the characters, at least the ones I would write, don't really care about themselves, and they don't care what happens to them. They only they're only focused on the you know on the goal, which is to destroy whoever wronged them. And same thing with this here. They have here of course the protagonist. His family was faced with ruin. He had his whole family ruined. Father's company was destroyed. He had to pay for like his dad's medical treatment. The He endured a lot of humiliation from relatives, and he was also betrayed by his fiance. This guy was like, so they left him dead in the river. He was abandoned, and after 5 years, he returns with the basically he returns as like a general. He's the general. He has this authority, and he basically seeks vengeance on all those who wrong him. And like I said, one of the key themes on here is revenge. The other one, of course, is the betrayal, where, like I explained, how the family betrayed him, loved ones, all that. It's personal with him, and of course the redemption of it. How he transformed from being a victim into an informative figure, using his powers and influence, to basically settle his past scores. So it stands out with me because of the engaging plot. There's high stakes. There's always high stakes in revenge stories when you do it right. And like I said, this one is definitely one of them. They have of course there are relatable emotions that I find that I feel like anybody can basically relate to when they're reading this, like betrayal and residences with a lot of readers on here. So basically, if you're interested in a story basically about personal revenge, dramatic twist, all this Chinese webcomic, it may be worth exploring. I really think it's going to be this one may be one of your favorites. So I definitely encourage you to check it out. The next one that I took a look on, and would really like to get you guys into is the Fight Like a Girl. That one is on Tapas. Move that one there. And Tapas basically is one of the. I used to use both of these. Actually, all three: the webtoons, Tapas, and web comics when I used to publish my stuff there before I moved it out, before I moved it out of there. But we'll get back to that a little bit later. But uh, Fight Like a Girl, awesome. I believe is an awesome story. It's like about 85 chapters on it or something like that, and it's basically about a character named Troy. He's basically he's a MMA champion, an MMA fighter, and he has there's a little there's a little suicide there in the of course in the beginning. So I don't know if it, like I said, if it may, I don't know if it may trigger anybody else, but this basically how the story gets on. The girl commits suicide. He's basically trying to protect her, or he's trying to save her, and he dies. Well, the body dies, and his spirit, I guess, moves on into the girl. So it's, it's basically, and he's basically fighting. He's doing MMA combat and fights and everything like that under her body. He's still kind of like, and at the same time, he's basically trying to, you know, fulfill, like, I guess he's still trying to, I guess, live his life, but now as this female. So the key things that I like about this here is that how it is a gender identity issue here. If you're it's quite psychological, and if you're the, basically it deals with the complexities, some of the complexities of gender swapping, uh, empathizing basically on Troy's struggle to adapt to a female body, basically. So it's like, you know, it's not like uh, he's basically, while he's basically struggling to uh, put himself into this, and like he's trying to adapt to this female body, he still retains his masculine fighting spirit, and the dude got skills. He got skills, but I like about that, and I like about the also another key theme is basically the empowerment, and the empowerment the empowerment. Basically, it breaks the stereotypes of demonstrating that strength and determination are not gender specific. It can be, they I mean they are of course there's not equality, there's no equality in that, but they show that a woman can show just as much strength, not as much strength as a man, but they have just that, like it's enough there, that they have that the female basically has the strength to endure in certain situations, and they have and of course the last key thing, a lot of martial arts action. The martial arts action, I believe it's really badass. I love the art on there as well. It's basically I have basically I basically really enjoyed those both of them. I really enjoy both of those things. But like I said, if you want me to get a little bit more into it, I could. But I'm just, like I said, just getting just like I said, just a quick hidden gem to let you guys, if you want to check those out, you could check those. I highly recommend those there, right there. And I did mention also. I did also mention that I used to have stuff over on Webtoons. My comics and everything over at Webtoons. I've had those. I have nothing against Webtoon, and I still, like I said, look at them there. But to me, there is a small problem with the mainstream moving over on their end, on their side there. I felt like, it was it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like when you head over to the Comic Cons. When you go to Comic Con, I was used to, meeting writers, meeting artists, checking out a couple of comics, getting signatures, that sort of thing. And now you go to Comic Con, and it's like movies and TV shows, and movie stars now, and like everybody there or is basically there for that. You know, they have of course the community did scale it back, and now they're they're way there are a lot of comic cons that are local, that are, you know what I'm saying, which is where what I would recommend anyway. You would want to bring all that back, bring it all back to the people, and you know, you enjoy it a lot more, especially like I said, if it gets out a little bit, if it gets a little bit more, I get loss of words here, but if you get a little bit more with, I guess the getting in touch with the getting in touch with everybody else in that community, you know, once they realize that, you know, a lot of these local, a lot of these local places are bringing back small comic cons. I'm pretty sure, like I said, we'll get all back into the swing of things, and we can get everything moving. As far as, like I say, with our thing, and not having to worry about with this, like I say, uh, mainstream, just basically moving along, grabbing everything else, or well, not grabbing everything else, but just moving along into your moving along into a property that, you know, I this is my thing with mainstream, or like Marvel or DC, and just want to add also that I am a DC fan. I love DC, but like I said, mainstream, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean, you know where to find it. So why do they need to go into why do they need to go into smaller, you know, uh, why do they have to go into to smaller stages when they already have the big stage? You know, that doesn't make any sense to me, but you know, they're there, and from what I understand, webtoons. I mean, DC was there like in 2021. Uh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, DC was there in 2021. I'm thinking about Disney. Disney is bringing. They have already, if not already Marvel, Star Wars, and I think they're doing. I think Aliens is coming out like in 2026 on there. So it's like they're good to, you know, you can check it out because it's really convenient to go into webtoons, you know, read and take a look at those books. But I already, you know, I like I said, I feel like that is a little redundant because they're already all over the place. They're like all over the place. It just doesn't, you know, why are they coming over to a smaller stage? Are they losing money? Are they, you know, I don't know. You know, I may look into that myself, but it's just like I said, you already have the biggest stage where you have most of the people there, and you know, if you have the biggest stage, and your reason to coming over to the smaller stage, there's got to be a reason. There just has to be a reason. But you know, I like I said, I used to be on on the webtoons. I used to be on the tapas, and of course on the web comics. But then it, like I said, it was other platforms. There were other platforms, and I still like it there because, like I said, the communities there are really awesome. Everybody there is, like, you know, really helpful. I love the communities there, but I moved out of it and decided to just to get to moving everything in just into my own to my own site because I felt like I'm on somebody else's rules, and I gotta run on my own rules, you know. So I basically I pulled all my stuff there, and placed it on the website, on my website, and like I say here, these are some of the titles or the books that are available now on my website. That one right there is the one I'm currently doing. I'm also doing another. I'm doing a solo comic adventure with Sigma Girl, and I'm working on both of those at the same time. And I also, like I said, besides the comic titles that I have there, I also have the merch. So the merch definitely the merch basically helps me continue doing what I'm doing. And like I said, you support me like I try to support a lot of creators, independent writers, independent artists. I think we need to like we definitely need to, of course, band together. And like I say, we have we have we have a lot more. You have a lot more power than you realize. You have a lot more power than you realize. Instead of just putting your stuff onto someone else's platform. I used to see that a lot with in the music industry. Uh, Someone will there's a lot of artists, a lot of good artists that will just take they would take their music and everything and like put it into a record company, and the record company basically, once you're on a record company, and it's the same thing with writers too. With writers, when you go to a publishing company, or you go to you're basically, you could be put on the shelf at any time, and that you don't have the freedom to express. And like, with something could hit you at a moment's notice, and it can be like the most awesomest thing, and you want to like go right into it, and you can't do that when you have the record company or the publishing company telling you that, hey, well, this is not what people are looking for right now. I you know I just want to, like, when the feeling hits me, I want to go. I just want to do it and just go right into it, and just basically just I want the freedom of, which is why I love independent comics and independent artists, independent writers, songwriters. I get movie guys, the guys that they like do I look at all of that, because like I said, their expression, their freedom expression, their expression and their love on what they're doing, you could really see that. And mainstream, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the mainstream thing. It's just that it's saturated with. I mean, it's like it like comes out of a factory, and it's there. So you just but like I said, I'm gonna be putting out these videos at least about once a week, and maybe more. Like I said, depending on my availability, because I do get a hell of a busy. I'm pretty much doing all this by myself. So, and like I said, I want, of course, I want more people to be aware of my work, and also, like I say, just get more involved in the community here, with basically the independent community, and basically get with there, and just like I said, just put my stuff out there, and like I said, basically get reactions on what people think about my work, is what I really, like I say, uh, is what I really cherish. So like I said, if you get a chance, stop by and check out my work. And if you want to become a supporter, you could be there are you can go to the website, become a supporter there, and like I said, tell a friend. And like I said, let's grow the community. And like I said, we'll see what we go from there. And I will, of course, like I said, I'll come out with another video with, maybe I'll have some more information, or if you have any ideas you want me to put up, just let me know, of course. And on the website, of course, on the website, you can go to the contact me, yeah, you can go to the contact me on the website and contact me directly to the website. I will answer everything through that website. Uh, YouTube, if I see it, I will check. I will check comments there, but I'm like I said, I'm mainly on. But you want my attention, you wanna go to the website and contact me there. And I appreciate everybody. If you made it this far, I'd like to appreciate you, and thank you again for, of course, viewing all my information there. Take care. Let's see here.
Welcome to the Drawing Desk, Webcomics, a digital comic book publishing company, home to the independent comic, superior phalanx, techcraft, and mixed soup. A truly independent webcomic publishing company with everything drawn, written, invested, and published by the author. The Drawing Desk makes webtoons and digital comics that are fun, positive, and uplifting to all readers. The Drawing Desk logo features Calliope, the eldest of the Muses, the ancient Greek goddesses named Muse of epic poetry. The Drawing Desk focuses on storylines and characters to bring comics the way it was meant to be. Also, the Drawing Desk sells digital books to improve your biological, cognitive, and financial well-being. Support the Drawing Desk and become a member. Get exclusive content only found on this site, gaming, and videos. Get loyalty points for comics and merchandise. Learn more by visiting the official website at thedrawingdesk.com.